It was the storm of the season. These images from this month's bomb cyclone are hard to forget. And it almost cost one Colorado man his life.
That morning, he ventured into the mountains to enjoy our Colorado's beauty, not realizing just how bad this storm was going to get. Well, tonight, he is sharing his story and says if it weren't for his dog, he wouldn't have made it out alive.
Here is Denver 7's Russell Haythorne.
It's a road Hans Pope and his dog have been down before.
1,000,000 times in 11 years.
A place he's intimately familiar with.
I was going to my favorite place in the whole world.
The Ute Trail above Salida offers stunning views of the Collegiate Peaks and the Sangre de Cristo Range.
It's breathtaking.
An escape on most days.
And that's where I find my peace.
But the day the bomb cyclone hit a couple weeks ago wasn't like most days.
And it went from 2 inches of snow to a foot of snow.
I don't even make it 6 inches.
His Ram 2500 turbo diesel was stuck on Ute Trail.
Pretty dangerous up there.
This is what a North Country boy travels with.
And even though Hans had the tools to dig out, the storm was too much.
My shirt's wet. My sweatshirt's wet. I'm wearing a Carhartt vest that's sopping wet.
What's now a muddy mess, this is the place where the truck was stuck. As you can imagine, it was a raging blizzard at the time, and after digging himself out not once, but twice, Hans knew he was on borrowed time.
I'd blown the radiator cap right off. All my antifreeze went flying into the wind. So I call that man right there.
I'm sitting at home ready to go to bed, 10 o'clock at night.
He just happened to be in a place with cell service.
The locals up there call it the phone booth because it's where you get cell service.
That's when Donald Sanchez got in his truck and was on his way to try and rescue Hans and his corgi-mix.
I had a message into my wife saying if I'm not back in the morning, I'm up County Road 175.
I said, come on, Suzy.
Hans set out to find shelter, but he made it only a few feet.
But I got here to this cattle guard, and this cattle guard was solid ice.
It would be the last time he was on his feet that night.
And my feet went up in the air, and I landed on these bars right on my back.
After briefly blacking out, Hans starts crawling through the driving snow.
I was shaking like a leaf. I was in a stage of hypothermia. I couldn't move my left leg. And I started crawling right down this side of the road.
And after crawling for what seemed like an eternity with Suzy right there by his side,
that place saved me.
They came upon this cabin Hans had seen before.
And I pushed the door open so the dog could get in, but I made it because of my dog.
Meantime, Sanchez and his friend had made it to Hans's truck.
Start flashing lights, honking the horn, and there's no sign of him.
Hans was long gone, so after searching the area for a bit, Sanchez and his friend turned back. And as if this story of survival weren't crazy enough, Hans happened to have a plastic survival pouch in his pocket, which he carries all the time.
A book of matches, a brand new lighter, not one you find, a brand new one, and a ball of cotton that size right there. Ever since I was 10. The Boy Scouts teach you a lot. You don't just get merit badges for nothing.
There was a wood-burning stove in the cabin.
I just scoop up a bunch of dust and deer hair and pine needles. First strike to the cotton. Poof. Flame. Survival. Heat. And I said, I gotta save this dog. She's my best friend on the whole world.
They stayed in that cabin through the night, and then
I was plowing the road to get out, and I came upon his truck, and I couldn't get past it.
And I yell at the top of my lungs, help. And I heard the truck stop.
And I'm like, what the hell? There's no one supposed to be up here.
Charlie Bearden, who lives 5 miles past the cabin, decided to plow that morning. The two haven't seen each other since. Until now.
Great because of you.
A tearful reunion.
One word. Grateful.
Because I don't think he'd have made it through another day.
A survival story that took a village.
You can call somebody up in this neck of the woods and leave a message that you need help. And an instant army will be formed.
In Salida.
That little cow dog that we adopted 5 years ago saved my life.
Russell Haythorne, Denver 7.